Hello there, you handsome lot. Welcome back to another show here on Crafters TV. It's a bit of a strange one today because it's Monday afternoon. However, it's Monday Makers, which you'd normally see in our evening slot. However, we've got a very special Swirls Crafty Clear Out happening a little bit later for 3 hours from 6 p.m. In the UK, 1 o'clock over on the East Coast. So we've decided to move it forward into the afternoon slot. And I thought, who else would I rather be here with on a Monday afternoon than the headmistress of Crafters TV herself? Jan is back with me in the studio. How are you, Jan?
I am good, thank you. It's great to be back, Joe. We were just saying before we went live, it's very strange to be doing Monday Makers at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So yeah, it's like I said, it's going to give us a strange sort of feeling of time. Like when we finish this show, we're normally ready for going home, but yeah, we need to make sure that we hang around. And
do you think anyone will notice if we do?
I don't know.
If we all just go?
They might notice if you go, Joe.
Right.
I've got some other things planned after the show here, well, in the other studio, but I think they might notice if you go, yeah.
Maybe
so we've got a great show lined up for this afternoon, whether it's early or not. We've brought you the same content that we would normally do for Monday Makers, some fabulous products and deals on there, and I'm just going to show you 1 or 2 samples of what we've got coming up in the show. Now, this is really up my street. I have loved playing with these, stamping and colouring at its best. So we've got the 3D scene builders here, and there are 4 different designs that literally give you the opportunity to make this style of card. So this was the concept, and there are instructions in each of the packaging that makes this style, where you've got that lovely Z fold. We are used to that fold, and we've just added sort of pieces from the kit to actually create them. But there's nothing to stop you using them in other ways. So for example, we've got the celebration one here, just using all those gorgeous elements and creating a scene for an easel card there. I'm going to show you one that's different again in this show. I'm going to do the concept design, and then we're going to come to one. But again, you know, just an ordinary opening card like we're used to, used a circle die there to create an aperture, and then making that scene. And again, you know, popping them into your sort of diorama cards or your theatre cards there, and you can just see. And I love the fact that the little gates open at the front and reveal the little girl on her swing. I just think there's so much in here. You get, when you see what's in the kits for your money, that there are so many possibilities. So we're going to come back to that one with our first demo in a little while. We've also got another one again that I've absolutely loved playing with to create your gorgeous sort of 3D decoupage flowers. So these are just made of paper.
I love these, Jan.
Now there's no reason why you couldn't use the dies with your flower forming foam as well, but I've had some great fun just using them with paper. So we've got the carnation there, we've got that beautiful peachy tone on the rose there, absolutely beautiful, and then there's a gorgeous little fuchsia in there as well. How realistic. You know, they're all made of paper, but really pretty. And then again, I love this one. You've got the lilac there with all those beautiful little sections and flowers that have just had a bit of sparkle added to it there. And that's just, there are some other designs in that range as well. So again, we're going to have a play with those later. And then also coming up, we've got these gorgeous swirl, Grande swirl dies, which again, you know, if I just show you them, you know, these can go anywhere on a card or a scrapbook page. I just think they're such a useful thing to have in your stash. So this one's been used as a focal element with some design papers, but also looks equally good as that focal element with your
really lovely
inked backgrounds there. Or you can make the backgrounds with those sort of any of the inks you've got on the show, whether they be the water on your show and your craft room, whether you've got the water reactives or the opaque ones or anything like that. A couple of other designs in there as well. So we've just used this one as a focal point on the gatefold there. And then again, we've got that fold back gatefold. There are 4 different designs in this collection available. And again, we're going to be demoing these later in the show. So lots of lovely products, Joe. And I can't wait to get started with those theme builders.
Yeah, there's absolutely loads of lovely things in this show. Lots of you tuning in saying hi already as well. Rhonda's saying hello from Oak Park, Illinois. Thea is saying hi as well from the Netherlands. Cindy's saying hi. Jerry's in as well from Southern Maryland. And Margaret says, good morning, makers. That's a bit like like Good Morning Angels, isn't it? It really is. Good morning, makers. Now, in a Monday Makers, we always have a Monday Mega Deal, and there's no difference today. We've got a brilliant deal for you. Now, whilst they're in their 3-packs, it's still a full collection on these. Our Tri-Blend brush pen. They are the 3-packs, but you are getting absolutely all of the full collection, which is amazing. So let me show you what you've got here. So remember with these, what you have is, shall I open one up? Let me see if I can. Me and packaging, we don't normally get on. That was very smooth for me. What you've actually got here are 3. You've got 3. You actually get 8 packs as well. I don't know why we've got 7 here or 6 on the details. But what you've got here is our amazing Tri-Blend pen. So it's the same one colour, which is, this is a bright pink blend you're looking at here. And then you have it in the 3 different tones. So you've got your light, your medium, and then your darkest shade there as well. So it enables you to get that really lovely, seamless blend. And here's all the colours that you're going to get in there. So it is a full collection, as we said, and it's on a great deal because you're saving $20.92 or $26.60 there when you go for this. Of course, you can use your Club Inspire discount on top of that as well. What I would say about Club Inspire and the Club Inspire pricing is make sure you're just logged in when you're on the website. Therefore, the price you see will be the price that you pay. It'll already take into account that Club Inspire discount for you. But if you've been waiting for a deal on our Tri-Blend brush pens today, you could absolutely maybe be the day. So there is your Monday Mega Deal. The Monday Mega Deal, though, only lasts 24 hours, so you will need to be quick if you want to get your hands on that. We are going to move on, though, and have a little look at the 3D seam builders. They're a beautiful collection of stamps and dies, but I think when you start to think about how you can put these together and, you know, the sort of card concepts that you can create with these, really, when they do seem to come alive. So 4 different collections in this particular bundle for you. It is a full collection. Your first one here is your Woodland Beauty with that lovely woodland scene there. Then we also have this one, which is your Simple Pleasures with the little girl there on the swing. Really quite modern, some of these, when you want to put them together. Butterfly Borders is this one here. I'm absolutely loving that trellis work that you've got. And then finally, you have this one as well, which is the Celebrate Your Day. You get all 4 of them. You're actually getting 16 sheets of the Nina cardstock included within there as well. Your platinum price is $68.79 or $83.96 if you want to get your hands on these. I would also say, I know we had a very, very frantic preview show earlier in our wake-up call slot for the later Sarah's Craft Clear Out. Honestly, I've got a friend's teeth in today, Jan. I can't get my words out. I still haven't really I'm not really settled back down again since this morning, I don't think. All those deals are still live over on the website, so make sure you head over there, hit the Shop the Show button. That will show you all of your Monday Makers deals, but also all of the Sarah's Craft Clear Out deals too. And remember, a 3-hour special of that coming up with myself and Sarah a little bit later on today. That's, of course, why we've got Monday Makers in this earlier slot. But Jan, where would you like to kick things off for us then on this Monday Makers show?
Right, we're going to start with those scene builders. As I say, I hadn't come across these before the show, but honestly, having had a play with them, they really do fit my sort of style of crafting because, as you know, I do love my stamping and colouring. So there are elements in here for you to just basically create a scene. There's no limitation on what that scene might be. And if you're buying them as a bundle, you've got a lot of mix and match facility with them as well. So I chose for my first one the Simple Pleasures set, and it's a combination set of metalwork, the dies, and the actual stamps that sort of complement the dies. So there isn't a die sort of for everything. No, the other way around. There is a die for everything on here, but you actually get extra pieces on the metalwork as well. For example, if I turn it over onto this side, you can see we've got the gate and the archway here, as well as all the pieces on this side that are going to cut out the little girl on the swing. You've got the lamppost there, you've got the clouds, the foliage, lots and lots of bits and pieces that you can just literally build up a stash of and then just play with to create your scenes. And also in every set, like I mentioned earlier, there is a set of instructions that allow you to make that Z-fold card, and that's where we're going to start with these. I'm going to sort of go through as the instructions are sort of intended and show you how to make that Z-fold card, and then in the second demo later in the show I'm going to show you a different way that we can use them. So what I've done is I've got quite a lot of this ready for you guys, because obviously the stamping, the colouring, it all takes time, but I wanted to just show you some of the elements of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out some of the pieces and just show you how they work. So I've got the archway there and the gateway, and then we've got the lamppost as well. So it tells you, I'll come back to this in a second when we've cut some of the pieces, because it tells you sizes and things on there. I'll come back to that when we get the card at the ready. So I've just brought some scraps and pieces to actually cut from, and I want to pop that archway and one of the gates on here, and then I'm going to cut the lamppost out of the black, make it look a little bit like wrought iron. Now there is a stamp where you can stamp out the lamppost and then use this to cut it out. I sort of did a little bit of half and half. I've sort of cut the lamppost out of the black because I wanted it to look sort of a little bit like wrought iron, and then I've just used an element from the stamp set to actually make it sort of more realistic. So I'll show you what I've done. And then obviously the archway, this is just going to cut out the plain arch, and then you can use all those little stamps in the set to cut everything out. So again, just pop this through the Gemini. We'll pop that one through first, and I've just got my smaller plates there through the larger Gemini, which is usually what I tend to work with. Ooh, can we go through there? Yeah, there we go.
I think the nice thing is about this, you've got the stamps in here, haven't you, Jan, which make it sort of almost quite cute in a way, but you could use a lot of these elements without the stamps and create something quite different. I'm getting quite sort of vintage Singing in the Rain vibes from it almost.
Yes, yeah, there's so many different ways, and as I say, if you're buying them as a bundle, there is quite a lot of sort of mix and match opportunity with them. So let's just cut that lamp as well. I think I'm ready for another plate there with that one. That's it, we're good. So again, just to take these out, it gives us that lovely archway to work with. And then we've got the gate here, which is actually one piece, but if you want the gate to open, then it's just simply a case of actually popping a cut line down the centre here. So again, we'll just take that one out. And you can see there that we've got that gate as one piece. If you pop it in your guillotine and cut it down the middle, you've got the facility then for those gates to open if you wish. Now on my design, I'm going to keep them as they are. So again, we've got that lamppost cut out, and again, I just think it looks great in the black. You can see there. Pop all those to one side for a minute. Okay. And then what I did, I've just used the stamp set here and stamped the little lantern part out. So I've got the wrought iron piece, but then I've just stuck onto it, you can just see there, the little lantern piece to actually make it look a bit more realistic. Now if you wanted to work in silhouette, this one would look great on those ink backgrounds and adding the lamppost in as a silhouette, but just by adding the little lantern in here, it's made it look a bit more realistic. So we're going to use this one. And then also in your set, there's loads and loads of different pieces. And this one, I cut this several times. You've got a little tiny piece of sort of foliage here. So if I bring back in the archway and then have a look at what we've done with that one, you can see there, just by cutting this several times, the little foliage piece here, and just layering it around the archway, has created that lovely sort of garden effect. Cute. And then also in your stamp set, you've even got the little flower pieces here, which I've just stamped out, coloured and cut out and just added to that. So we've gone from this one here to that decorative piece there. So we're going to use those in the design. And then the gates, I've just literally cut the gates out and just popped a little bit of ink around them. Can you just see the difference there between the plain one? And
it's
just
amazing how they come alive, the basic pieces, isn't it, when you start to build up the
just gives it a little bit of dimension, doesn't it? And then again in the stamp set, there's a gorgeous little tiny tuft of grass at the bottom. I've just stamped that against as if it's growing against the hedge, the gate at the bottom there. Got two of those that we're going to use in the design. And then I've got other bits and pieces ready, which I'll show you how I've arrived at those. And then we're going to put them all together. So you've got that lovely little girl on the swing. She had to be a feature in there. You can see from the stamp set I've used the stamp, and then you've got the matching die here that cuts her out beautifully, just leaves that lovely little white halo around everything. And then we've also done some of the foliage, so we've actually got here the shrubbery. So I've just again, and there's all the dies to cut these out. You've got that lovely little sunflower. It can be any flower depending on how you colour it. We've got some more flowers here that I've built up and put on some foam pads ready. And then you've got the little clouds as well there. And there should be, yep, there's this one, which I think I like. Are they, I think the lupins, the big tall ones like this, I think. Or there's another one as well.
There's another one.
Are they gladioli that grow up on a tall stem like that
they
as
look a
well?
little
Yeah,
like
so I'm
gladioli.
not an expert on the flowers. So we've got lots and lots of bits at the ready to play with. Some of them I've put on foam pads, some of them I've kept flat. And we're literally going to build the scene up. So coming back to the actual card then, let's have a look at the instructions. It asks us to start out with a piece of 5 by 11 cardstock, which is what I've done. And it shows you how to score it to get that traditional Z-fold shape, which we're all familiar with. We know how that works. And then I've started with my matting and layering on the inside here. And then it also asks you to cut again, the piece that we're familiar with. It's usually the piece that you cut off the bottom of the card for the length here if you're using A4. Same score lines in it. If I turn it this way, you can see it's got the same score lines as what's in the card. And then all we're going to do is flip it round and it fits on like so to create that sort of double Z almost. Now I've just covered the front of mine with some green cardstock, again, being in that scrap bag, just because I wanted green behind there. You'll see why when I start building it. And then for my mats and layers here, I've used some of that Nina cardstock, and I've just started building a background here. So this one, all I did for this was, I didn't have a stencil with the clouds on, so all I've done is just cut a piece of cardstock here, and I just drew the cloud shapes, cut round it, and then I've used this.
That's very clever, Jan. In
conjunction with my inks. And this is just the very pale blue, the baby blue from the water reactive inks. And I've just inked it to create that little cloudy background. And then
looks
again,
a bit like the Teletubbies, doesn't it?
this piece, even if you're not, not sort of confident, you've even got the line here that will create that sweeping hill for the background, which I've done on this side. And then I've created the same to go on the other side here. Okay, so let me think where I was heading with this. Can I actually stick those down? Yes, I think we can, because all the rest of it's going to work on the top of it.
If you did want to get a couple of these as well, only 2 of these for £50 or $60, so another option there when it comes to grabbing them, or individually, of course, $26.99 or $32.95. It is a brilliant deal when you get the whole bundle together. It's how you get the best value, but nice that there's options if you do want to, grab a couple of them. You do get the cardstock for free as well, don't forget, when you get all of them together. So, and as you were saying, Jan, nice to have them all to be able to mix and match,
It is. You can actually pull elements from, there's a couple of them that are very sort of nature related, but yeah, they will all mix and match together. You've got the ones with the woodland in, with the deer in it, the stags again. So there's a lot of mix and match ability. If you want to make a larger project or maybe make a piece of home decor, there's scope to mix and match quite well with them.
You are going to be demo of the show and demo of the day today.
By default.
You are indeed, yes. By default, this would be demo of the show, demo of the day. Johnny says you would have beaten Sarah hands down anyway, but I think that's a little bit mean, Johnny. But anyway, if that's how you feel.
Right, so literally getting this far is all in your instructions. It tells you what size to start with your piece of card, where to score it, how to cut the piece that goes across the front, where to score that, and then it just says to use the stamps and dies to decorate the panels, and away you go. And then just basically stick in this one onto the front here. And that's what we're going to do. I think I can probably, if I remember rightly, my design in my head, most of it was stuck to the front, if I remember rightly. So I'm going to go ahead and stick it down and keep everything crossed that I wasn't going to put anything behind it. I'm fairly certain it was all at the front. So what I want to do then is pop glue on this small tab, and I'm actually going to work right across the bottom. Quite often when I make Z-folds, I lift this band a little bit, but on this occasion I want it at the bottom because we're going to pop the fences and things on here. So obviously to have it halfway up would have looked a bit odd.
Oh, you don't want your fence halfway up your project, do you?
You don't, do you? So I'm actually going to line it up with the bottom of the card this time and just stick that section down first, making sure it runs parallel with the edge of the card. And then we're going to do the same at this side. So I just want glue on that half section, not across the whole thing. And then this one's going to stick to the opposite corner across here. So I'm just going to line it up with that outside edge of the card. And then we've literally got our Z fold at the ready. Now on the basis, if any of you have used the pop-up boxes, you'll know that we pop the little strips inside here in the box to create extra layers. There's nothing to stop you doing that here if you want to add some dimension with whatever you're building inside it. I've just literally kept this one as the instructions stated. So what we're going to do now then, we're actually going to start and build up some of the design. So
and I know you've got it here in a card concept, Jan, but this could be building up the design on a scrapbook page. This could be a piece of home decor. There's lots of different things you can take these into.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, like I just said earlier, you know, if you've got all the sets, I think the home decor aspect, there's so much that you could bring into it and put depth in it and create, especially in sort of the shadow boxes or something like that, you could really go to town with it. So yeah, we're going to pop the little gates on either side. So again, I'm just going to use a bit of my tacky glue on there just to pop these down on the background. And I'm just going to have these at either end as if this is the fence coming into the design. And the same at this side. Oops, a bit of glue there that we didn't need.
Lots of people chatting away. Gilmore says the Sarah effect, Joe, the Tasmanian devil filled with energy is how she goes on to describe her. Wowzers, trousers. Maureen saying hi from Bedford. Nice to have Bedford in the house. Fran says, nice to see Jan and Joe together, two of my favourite people. Sandra says, Jan, the proper roof reschedule goes on the conservatory this Thursday, Friday. Yes, the room had to be emptied. I'll let you know how much it was worth the effort.
We were talking about this a little while ago, weren't we? Because I got a little bit overwhelmed at the thought of emptying the craft room to have my roof done.
I know that we still haven't seen your craft room, Jan.
I know. Do you know, my first job, I'm here today and I've got a show at the end of the week on the TV channel, and then I'm on holiday for a couple of weeks, and the first job on the to-do list at the beginning of the holiday is to try and get the craft room in some kind of workable order. Right. I've had such a lot of going on this month. It's been live show, go home and prep, live show, go home and prep, and honestly there's just piles. I've got to that point where I'm climbing over things again. So yeah, dear. Top of the to-do list is actually to get some tidying up done. So
it's just the tidy is the least favourite bit.
I'm not promising photos, but we might try.
Right, we'll see how we go. I'll pester on your behalf, don't you worry about that.
So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to bring that little archway onto that front section here, so you can just see where that's sort of going to sit here. There's no reason why you couldn't pop it in the back if you wished, but what I want to do is pop the little girl behind it as if she's swinging into that sort of design that we're going to build here. So she's going to hang from behind the archway there. Brilliant. Like so. So let's get this bit stuck down first. So I need to pop glue to about there. Oh, I've just popped my pin back in. It thought it was finished. No such luck. We still need a little bit of glue. And I think the wet glue just gives you that chance to wriggle things into place if you want to. So again, this one's going to line up with the bottom against the fence there. And it's just the right width. You can see that this has all been designed, again, beautifully to work with that sizing that's given on the instructions there. So just hold that to let that tacky glue grab on there, and you can see we're starting to build. Now there's no reason why you couldn't put some more on here. I've got some scraps of green if we decided we wanted to pop this along, but not too worried about that one because this is actually the return piece. I might dress that later. So again, we're going to pop her inside. So I just want a couple of little bits of glue on the top of the rope there on the swing.
And Annette thinks that looks like a foxglove, that particular flower.
Could well that might be it, yes. Yeah. So as I say, I'm not so hot on my flowers. I know certain ones. I know the ones that I like.
I bought
Which are
some
sort
white.
of like
I seem to
the-
be. Oh, you know, I used to buy lilies every week for the house, Jan, and the house always felt naked without lilies in it.
Yeah?
I had to. Even there's one. Usually the last couple of weeks,
smell
there's one lot go. You
beautiful,
put a new
don't
one
they?
in. Well, I've really branched out the last few weeks. We had carnations last week. Was
steady
very
on.
lovely. We've got white roses this week scattered through the
lovely.
house, which is lovely.
I think gerberas are one of my favourites, and I also like the peonies. I just love how full the blooms are on the peonies.
Very short season though, the peonies.
They are,
Not around
yes,
for very
they
long.
are, I must admit.
And also what I've worked out is lilies are actually quite expensive.
They are.
Other flowers are actually a bit cheaper. So that's why we're
Yes, if
mixing
you're
it
doing
up a
every
little
week,
bit.
That is definitely a consideration, isn't
Yeah.
it? Right, so we're going to bring that lamp in here as if that's just... And I know. Then I thought, oh, well, would it have the light on in the daytime, Jan? And I thought, stop overthinking it. Just get on with it and stop overthinking.
Let's just pretend in the land where this in the land where this card is being set, let's just pretend that the energy price crisis isn't a thing.
Yeah, and we can
Let's just
actually have the
pretend
light
it's the
on
late
during the
70s
day.
or something like that.
So that was my argument. So little clouds we're going to pop up at the top. I do honestly, I get myself in a rattle. I think just stop overthinking things and play with the stamps, Jan. It's like just don't have to explain everything. So we're just going to pop a couple of those floating around because we can. They're in that that collection of stamps. So we're just going to have those in the background there. And then to start and build up the other bits and pieces. So I've got some shrubbery to go across the back here, first of all. And literally all I'm doing is just layering up the pieces now. You know, so decide where you want things. And yeah, that's covered up some of the grass at the back, but I'm not too worried about that. And then I've got another one, which I'm going to sort of bring onto this one here, just to echo that other side. And all these have been coloured with my tri-blends. So whether you're using those beautiful brush tips that we've got on the show today, or if you have our original tri-blends, on this particular one, I've used the alcohol pens on this one. And then again, it's just a case of layering up where you want the rest of the designs there. So again, I've got what we think may be foxgloves, did we say?
Yeah, foxglove, we believe.
Yeah, they do look a little bit like the foxgloves. And I want those to come out from behind the shrubbery there. And then the rest of the little flowers, I've just put some little tiny foam pads on that. I need to try and get the backs off. You know what I'm like with the foam pads, honestly. These are minute. Here we go. That's it.
Don't worry, they're not lit, they're just frosted, Rose saying. There you go.
There we are, you see.
That's what it is. There's a lot of haters when it comes to lilies in the comments.
Oh!
Wow, lilies are my absolute favourite flower.
They do. I think a lot of it is with the pollen, the stamens, isn't it, where they shed and it does stain, doesn't it? I've got a table runner across my dining table. Not that you can see much of the dining table, but there is a table runner under there, and I must admit there's actually a stain on there from some of the lily pollen.
Yeah, you've got to cut it out as soon as they open. That's what you need to do,
That was a funny
Jan.
noise.
Yeah, cut it out as soon as they open. Take them over, hold them over the bin, and cut the stamens out. That's the plan.
And then just to finish off, also in here, in both the stamp set and the dies again, you've got the facility to do the little tiny butterflies here. So again, I've stamped some of those out. You've got the dies to cut them out if you wish in here. You've got the dies to cut the little flowers out that I did on the trellis. It's literally all been thought through. So what I did was just pop some of these onto some bits of scrap, and I thought we'd have one settled on the trellis there in the middle. There's some funny noises going on in the studio today. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's the. I think it's because it's got
like
really quite warm quite quickly outside.
Yeah.
I think it's my waistline expanding. Honestly, the last couple of weeks are anything to go by, Jan. I did no carbs for 2 weeks now. I feel like I've done only carbs for 2 weeks.
The last time I saw you were being really good.
Oh, I was so good. Honestly, I can't stop eating. If it's not nailed down, I'm going to eat it at the moment. Honestly, I cannot stop. I don't know what's happening. Lots of people still chatting away. Gillian says, I just used my Play Your Craft Right voucher against a rotating design board with an anti-bag and got it for £6.99. What a bargain.
Oh, well done.
What a bargain. A lot of you still talking to me about what you are buying in the clear out. Someone said, is it the calm? Anyone else feel like Monday Makers is a calm before the storm, says Caroline.
Quite possibly.
We did. We did indeed. Yeah, lots of you are sympathising with me with the not being able to stop eating at the moment. I think it's a summer thing. That's what it is.
Maybe, because I've been a little bit like that, Joe.
Absolutely beautiful.
So again, you can see, we've got that sort of Z fold. It does all fold reasonably flat. You might want to pop a little envelope box there just to get that depth in. But yeah, that's just the sort of idea behind the concept of the 3D scene builders. As I say, the next demo, I'm going to show you a different style of card that we can use them with. But if you love colouring and then die cutting and just creating, they are absolutely gorgeous to play with, and that's just one of the sets. That's the Simple Pleasures set. So yeah, just taken all the pieces from there and just created, and again, that was my version. Very similar. I took a lot of inspiration from the one that's on the photo here, so you can see very similar kind of idea. But yeah, just love it. I think they're great to just have a play with.
Really, really gorgeous.
Are you all right over there, Joe?
So yeah, know what's happening there. I was just choking.
Just choking.
Don't worry, I'm only choking. It's fine. Let me take you back for exactly what you're getting in here. Then 4 different sets, brilliant value here for you. Great saving of almost £27 or $34. And what you've got in here, of course, is your Woodland Beauty is your first one, stamps and dies, and then additional dies, as Jan showed us too. This one is your Simple Pleasures. You'll also receive your butterfly borders, lots of really beautiful little embellishing butterflies in different styles that you're going to be able to play around with. And you've also got the Celebrate Your Day. You will also, of course, get the 16 sheets of Nina cardstock included in there for you too. $85.99 or $104.95. Make sure you're using your Club Inspired discount on there. And as Jan said, lots of really lovely ways to use them in card concepts, but also lots of other things you can do with them, whether it's home decor, box frames, scrapbooks. They're a really handy collection of themed embellishing dies which you can work together really well with. Now, because we are in the midst of Sarah's craft clear out, it is something not just happening today. I know there is a big 3-hour show this evening. There's also a very big cartload coming up later in the week, but it's something that's happening every day throughout the week here at Crafters TV. And what that also means is we have a daily deal for you. Now, it's going to launch at midday UK time. That's 7 AM East Coast every single day. And today's is this. It is the guillotine. Now, these guillotines are amazing. All of you out there that owned either the small or large guillotines will know how incredible they are. With the self-sharpening blade, it is a scoreboard too, because you have your score lines in here. You will get the scoring tool included, which sits in there. Always very popular at $24.99 or $34.95. However, today you're going to get 2 free 6x6 paper pads included as well. So you're going to get your Enchanted Dreams. You're going to get this one for free. You're not paying for that, which is lovely. It's a really gorgeous selection, actually, of different images within there. And you're also going to receive this one here, which is your Dancing Dragonflies. It's such a pretty one, that one. I love all the sort of dark greens, purples, blues and reds that you've got running all the way through that particular pad. 36 sheets of each, so 72 sheets in total there. No, 36 sheets in one, 32 in the other, 68 sheets in total, Joe. It says it right there, come on. If you are a platinum member, of course, $19.99 or $27.96. It's today's daily deal. We will only hold on to that price for today. If you come back tomorrow, you will not get the 2 paper pads included for free. Quite exciting though. We have to make way, of course, for a brand new daily deal, which is important. Let's have a little look at what you're up to in the comments. Sylv says, Joe quietly dying in the corner. Well, maybe not so quietly. Sylv, plot twist, I don't do anything quietly. Absolutely nothing do I do quietly. Any sneak peeks at the goodie boxes or lucky dips, Kathy asked. You might have to go back to the earlier show. I think it's more than my life is worth to go back over there. Lorraine says, good afternoon, anyone. Mr. Yodel has just delivered my Spectrum Noir goodie bag and some paper pads I ordered in cartload. Very, very happy. Wake up call was great, says Tricia. Loads of great stuff in the clear out. There is. Fred loving that card, as was Cheryl and Diane and Kathy. Lots and lots of love coming in for that. I had white lilies and white roses in my wedding bouquet, says Astrid. Why does that not surprise me with Astrid? She is the classiest lady in craft, as I like to say, Astrid. She's always posting pictures of some fabulous thing that she's made or she's drinking or she's crafting. Absolutely gorgeous. Caitlin asked if I'm a plant dad. I am, and I must say, I don't know what it is, Jan. I don't know if it's the warmer weather, but everything's going bonkers crazy plant-wise in the house. Honestly, you see my cheese plant, it's shot up.
Wow.
It's absolutely huge, it really is. My rubber plant, honestly, it'll get me in the night, the rubber plant is growing so quickly.
I'm not very good with live things like that. Plants in my house are all made of the plastic variety, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm not very good with living plants.
I've got another one, though, not so good. It looks like it's dying all the time, and it isn't. That's just the way it looks, apparently. And my friends always come past, you need to bin that. I'm like, no, it's just how it's meant to look. It's how it's meant to look. Let's move on. Let's share with you. Talking of plants, let's talk about flowers. We've got the decoupage flowers available for you. We need less of the lily hate, I think. This is a gorgeous lily that you've got here. Brilliant size, these. They make really big statement flowers. These are on their best ever price of this particular collection. Normally £15 each, these. You've got a saving of almost £32, just under $38 here with these. So you're going to get the beautiful lily. This one here is the lovely lilac. I didn't realise until all that recently that lilac was actually a flower. I thought lilac was just a colour. How wrong was I? So that's your lilac. You will also get the radiant rose, really beautiful this one. And of course you can do that in a variation of different colours there. You've got the fabulous fuchsia too, and the fuchsia is really quite an unusual flower, definitely one that we don't usually see in dye form, but we've got it here for you. You also have this one here, which is the carnation. That's your timeless carnation. You get some really lovely variations on carnations. Oh, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. But like ones with sort of different coloured edges and tips. You see lots of them this time of year, so you can actually craft those yourself. And we've also got a fragrant sweet pea in there as well. So really nice. Something a little bit out of the ordinary on these. $46.40 or $52.80 is your price here on these ones. Rhonda's letting me know they had white bird of paradise flowers in their bouquet. Bird of paradise are great because they last forever. They're kind of like a really, really robust plant. They're like a big tropical one. Haven't you seen them? Sort of, they go like that.
Not seen
sort
those.
Of shape.
No,
yeah, really, really lovely. Jill B is loving the deals in the Sarah's Craft Clear Out. All of those deals are still running over on the website. I don't think there's been any sellouts yet either, so you are fortunate that everything is still in stock at the moment. We are, of course, going to have sellouts because it was such a busy show earlier. But do make sure you're checking that area of the website. The best thing you can do is hit the Shop the Day button. That will show you all of our Monday Makers deals, but also all of the Sarah's Craft, Clear Out deals. That was, yes, got it right way. And Fred says, didn't recognise you without your hard hat. Get that all the time, Fred. Proof that you look good in anything. Compliments will get you absolutely everywhere, Fred. They really, really will. Right, let's go back to Jan then. We're going to have a little look at these flowers, I believe.
Right, we're going to have a play now. We're going to get a little bit inky and a bit messy with this one. So I chose the timeless carnations, and I just love how this actually turned out. So these are a really nice statement piece. Like Joe says, they're a good size. Packaging here says we're looking at 2 points, so just under 3 inches, the largest one. So you can see that these are going to be great, not just for cards, but for home decor projects and things like that, if you like doing this kind of thing. And then you also get the metal work to cut out both of the flower heads and the leaf in there as well. So before we actually start with those, I'm actually going to make my background, because I'm always talking about backgrounds, and this is a perfect opportunity to actually get using them. So I'm in love with, at the moment, with the new colours of the water reactive inks that came with the Frosty and Bright collection, and the lilac, the lavender ice in there is just gorgeous. So that's what we're going to use.
I believe they're still in stock as a three pack, those, and the 3 brand new colours. If you don't yet have them, great time to stock up on them.
And I've actually got some watercolour card, because we're going to sort of use ink, we're going to use some water, we're going to do some shaping. So it's sort of robust enough to take all that. So first of all, I just want to get that ink down, and I've talked about this a lot, and I thought, shall I do it? And I thought, no, we'll actually do the demo with it, because usually I've got the piece of card and just said this is what I've done. So I thought, right, we'll actually get cracking. So I've brought my craft mat. I found that this technique works better on the texture of the craft mat.
I was surprised to learn that you get a different look with a lot of things on the mat preferred to the glass mat, the rubber mat.
You do, and I've learned that more recently, to be honest. I used to do everything on my glass mat, But then I saw somebody demoing on a craft mat and I thought, actually, I need to try that. And you do get a different look. So all I've done is put the ink pad straight to the craft mat and just got some of the ink down there, which is not easy to see, but we'll pick it up with the card. And then I'm literally just going to spritz it with water. So just tap water in my spritzer there. Then take my piece of card and like I normally just say, right, this is what I've done, and I've dabbed it up, but you can see how we pick up that lovely colour. Now, I don't want to think about this too much, other than literally getting the colour onto the card. So literally, where all the spaces are, I just want to get some colour into the gaps. And then, especially, had to be for producer Johnny in the gallery today. Here it comes, Johnny. Here it comes. I know we'd only got the one show, but I thought I still got to do it because I want to dry the ink in between applications, because I'm going to pick up what's left on there now, and you'll get like a layering sort of technique. Even though it's water reactive and the water will reactivate to a certain extent, you will get some layering over the top. So where we've got those wet patches on the cardstock.
Is that on, Jan? Turn it on.
It's obligatory now that we have to do this every time, isn't it?
Never gets old, does it, this stroke? More than 2 years we've been doing this for.
And then now we've actually got that pretty much dry, and I just love how, because there's clearly blues in that lilac ink, I love how it starts to separate, and just along here I can see where it's pushing some of the blue out of the ink, because when I came back to these I thought, oh, where's the blue from? I didn't use any blue ink. But it's amazing how they play. And then if I pick up the rest of it now, you can see how those dots go over the top. They're not actually going to sink into the rest of the card. So every time you get an area that you like, I like the dots on there, it's better to dry that bit off. Otherwise, when I push it down into the ink again, it's going to change it on the next sort of dab into the ink. So each time, and again, obviously you've got much more time to do this at home. Just take the edge off that ink. Otherwise, it's literally just going to swoosh out again. So again, I've still got some left on here. So keep going until you've got that picked up, as much or as little as you want. Quite happy with that. And then all I do with this is just give it a quick wipe over. There's not usually a lot of ink left on there. But I do have one that I use for inks, and I do have one that I use for mixed media. I didn't show you that one because that's nowhere near as clean. Okay, and then I'm going to bring the ink in with an ink applicator as well. And just, I want to take away a little bit of the whiteness in some of the areas.
Are you just tickling it, Jan?
Yeah, that's a really good term, Joe. I don't want to colour it in as such, but I want to just take away a little bit of the white. Not too worried about the edges because we're going to stamp directly onto this now. So this is actually going to be my flowers. So rather than stamping a flower and colouring it in, which you can do, I'm going to do that if we get a second demo in with these. I'm going to colour it in with the alcohol inks again, but this way. And I'm always talking about save the backgrounds, make the backgrounds, save them. This is a great way to use them up. So I'm now going to bring in my stamping platform, and this is pretty much dry now. Pop it onto the platform, and then we're going to bring those stamps in. Now, because I've used a water reactive ink, I just want to make sure that I bring in the right stamping ink. So I've gone for the waterproof dye ink to stamp with from the Finesse range, because if we do add any more water to it, I want that outline of the dye to stay put, the stamp to stay put. So what we're going to do is stamp out the two flowers like so, and again, you know, you can see now that you're going to get a really nice design underneath those flowers with the background that we've created. And again, pop that stamping, and I've just gone for the flagstone over the top. And then the thing that I really, really liked about these when I got to the next step and started cutting them out, a lot of you ask how to get the dies lined up. When a stamp comes with a die, what's the best way to line it up? These are actually really, really well thought out because the dies are just a smidge smaller than the flower. So it actually cuts away the outside edge, which if you think about flowers, they don't have a set edge on them.
No.
So I love the way, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. We're going to cut these out in a second and I'll show you what I mean. And the leaf's the same as well. So again, if you do miss it, you've got the ability to just pop that back in. I've just re-inked. Give that a good press, and we've got those beautiful flowers there at the ready. So what we're going to do now is cut those out. So I'm going to swap that for my plates there. And again, take the respective dies, and we're going to stick these down and cut out the flowers. And what I mean by them just being a little bit smaller, it's great for lining them up. So that's the bigger one. It's just a case of having a look at them and seeing which way, because they're not symmetrical, the flowers, so you just need to see which way they fit. But can you see, when I've got my die in place there, you can just see the black edge of the image. So it makes them really easy to line up. And then when it cuts it out, because the cutting edge is like 1/8 of an inch in from the outside of the metal, you're going to get rid of all that sort of edge that's in the stamp. So again, just find out which way they fit. That was a good guess. Yep. And then we're going to pass that through the machine and cut those flowers out.
We need to say a big happy birthday to Michelle. Michelle Knits For You. It's Michelle's 50th birthday today.
That's a nice birthday, isn't it? Many congratulations.
It's a very big one, that. Let us know how you're celebrating, Michelle. I hope there's lots of cake and you're getting spoiled. That's what I really hope. Deborah says, good morning from Texas. So happy to see you, Jan. And my birthday buddy, Joe. Well, thank you, Deborah. Not long to wait now, just next month till our birthdays, Deborah. Get in. I'm here actually for my birthday this year.
Oh, yeah?
I'm here for both my birthdays this year.
Both of your birthdays?
Yeah, the 26th and the 27th of September.
Right.
I'm here for both birthdays. Yeah, I have two.
You have two?
Do you not know the story?
A bit like the Queen.
Like a real queen, yeah. Do you know the story? I basically celebrated my birthday on the wrong day for 19 years, Jan.
Oh, right, I've not heard this one before.
Celebrated it on the 27th for many years. Turns out, lost my passport, got my birth certificate out. My birthday was actually on the 26th, not the 27th.
That's brilliant.
Yes. I know. Only me.
I've never heard that one before. That's absolutely brilliant.
Terry would like to know, will quick dry inks work stamped over a water reactive background? Great question.
Will quick dry inks work? Yes, they will.
Stamp over,
yes.
yeah?
As long as that background's dry and there's no moisture left in it, because obviously all the inks are water-based. So if there's any sort of water left in your ink background, you might find some of the quick dry ink sort of seeps into that water element. So just make sure it's totally dry. If you've done ink backgrounds, I tend to leave them maybe overnight. Make sure they're completely dry before you start adding anything else to them, yeah. But no reason why not. They all play really nicely together.
Excellent.
So you can see how they've cut out, and see what I mean about, if I bring this back in here, you can see how it's left that black edge on the actual design here. So you've not got that really dark element, which I think makes them look a bit more realistic. And then I'm just going to take one of my ball tools there that are for the flower forming foam, but I use them on the back of here as well. And all I'm going to do is literally press the tool across the back, the reverse side of the flower. So I'm sort of curving the petals downwards at the minute. They're curving up on the foam sheet, but they're actually down on the flower itself. You can see how it's shaped it there. Started out flat, and then we've gone to that lovely sort of shaping. You can just see there. And then once we turn it over and go in the centre, it's giving you a little bit more dimension. And then what I did was just sort of tweak. I'm not folding them in half completely, but I've just sort of given them the impression that there's a little fold in there. Same with this one. So I've gone round the edge of it and down the centre of the petal just to create that texture. Now, it depends what you're doing with these. If you want to pop them on a card that you want to post, you might want to keep the flowers nice and flat. But obviously, if you're doing sort of home decor or anything that you're going to gift by hand, you can afford to take it that little sort of step further. So again, just creasing them over my finger. I've not folded them in half completely. And then what we're going to do is stick one inside the other. So again, I've got the large one on the bottom, little bit of glue in there, and again, just offset it so that we can put this one in the centre. And if I just bring that one back, I can actually press it all together now with the glue and give it a real nice shape in there.
Absolutely
make
glorious,
sure that
aren't
glue's
they?
set.
I guess these would look great with things like vellum as well, Jan.
Oh yes, they would, absolutely. So again, and what like you touched on this earlier, Joe, carnations often tend to have more concentration of colour around the edge of the petals.
Yes.
So then I've brought the ink back in onto the applicator, and all I've done with my sponge applicator then is just literally brush over the edges of them just to darken up. Same colour tone. If you want to do this with a different colour, you can, but I've actually gone colour on colour there. And all it's done is just sort of defined the edges of the petals a little bit there. Okay, and then again,
poor
when
Michelle
you get that,
will not be celebrating. She's not leaving the house. She's got COVID, Jan.
oh,
What
that's
rotten
not
timing.
good.
I reckon you can have another birthday next month or next week, Michelle. This is
Yeah.
how it works. So we can do, I reckon we could do, let us know what
Rearrange
works.
it.
Maybe do the 8th or the 1st of September.
Now then, this is the interesting part now. So I've done some of these at home, and I did these before. I've been away for the weekend to the caravan. So I left them in the craft room, and this is one of the issues with being in the conservatory, because I did exactly this, and then I went away for the weekend and came back to this. Can you see the difference in the colour?
Yeah, but it's sort of
That's
bleached
the
it out, isn't it?
sunshine in the conservatory.
Oh, wow.
So it's bleached them a little bit, and it's brought out sort of a very much of a blue tone when they were all done with that same lavenderised
funny.
ink. But I actually quite like it. I thought, what a happy accident. And all I've done is popped a couple of pearls in the centre of them. So you can see how we've arrived at those there. And then the leaf, I did the same with the leaf. I've just created some background in the green from that same kit, which was the frosted sea glass. And again, I've actually added a layer of sparkle ink over these with my clear sparkle pen. So there is just a slight little bit of lustre on these, which is really nice. Just
Really
just
cute.
catching it there in the light, look. Yeah, so, and again, I've cut those out with the die, and exactly the same, it takes away that really dark, if I pop them on here, that really dark edge, which I just think is much more realistic. So, in order to pop those together, we've got a really basic card. I've just gone for 6.5-inch square. I've taken the centre, I'm in love with this design at the minute, taken the centre out and replaced it with acetate, which I really like. Okay, and then I've made a couple of panels to go top and bottom. So we were going to have them like so. So let me just put those on there. So I've put these together partially ready because I wanted to concentrate on actually showing you how to make the flowers rather than the card. So I'm going to pop, and this was just a bit of washi tape. So I've used textured cardstock for the matting and layering, a piece of watercolour card.
I thought that was an inky background for a second there.
Pardon? Yeah.
The washi tape looks like it. I thought
It
it
could
was
be, and I was just looking for something that fit. I didn't want the same paper that I'd put in the background, and I thought, you know what, I've got a drawer full of washi tape that I hardly ever use. I went through a phase where I just kept buying it and buying it and buying it. I thought it was great, so I thought I'll have a look, and this just lent itself beautifully with it having those blues and purples in it. It was almost as if it had been designed for the job. So I'm just going to pop that on, and we've literally got our base card there, nicely decorated. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to build up this design here. I've just stamped a little sentiment, and I thought this would be a great one for Feel Better Soon. And then we can tuck these leaves into here when we've got them settled. So I would normally use hot glue to pop these on, but I've forgotten to put the glue gun on. So I'm just going to pop some of the tape runner on the back of them. And again, you have to be careful with the hot glue if you're working onto acetate, especially if it's not a heat resistant acetate, because you can actually go straight through the acetate with the glue being so hot. So just be mindful of what you're working on too. So again, I want to pop those two as sort of the main focal point, and then we can pop, whoops.
Rose says, question for you, Jan.
Yeah.
When you make this card style, do you cut the entire card away and then use the acetate to bring it together, or do you do it a different way?
What I used to do was cut out the full card. So I'd cut out my 6.5-inch square card, which would have had to have been 2 pieces, to be honest, and then work out what gap I wanted. But then I got wise to the fact that I was actually using more cardstock than I needed to, because actually you only need this length of card. So whatever your measurement is, this is 6.5 squared, plus an extra, I think I added 1 3/4 inches on here. So 6.5, 7.5, 7 3/4 inches, is that right? No, not quite, I'm not adding up properly. 8 1/4 inches on this particular one, and then scored it 6.5 in from the edge here to make my square part. This piece can be a cut off from anything. It doesn't have to be the bit that's come off the other side of the card, and it took me a little while to learn that. My OCD said that I had to cut the whole card out as a square card and then take the middle out, and then you end up with a piece here that's extra.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've started doing it differently, and it means I can get more. Because that's only 8 1/4 inches, this actually came out of the width of our A4 card.
Ah, I see.
So it is a little bit more frugal as far as the cardstock is sort of using. You get a bit more for your money out of it, which we all like. So all I'm going to do is pop a little bit of that wet glue on here then, and tuck these underneath. So I've done 4 leaves, 2 for each flower. And again, this is just one of the many, many ways. There are so many different things that you could do with these.
Was that a construction or heat resistant you're using, Shannon?
The one that I've got here is the one that we sell in an A5 pack.
Oh, you
and
like that
it's
size,
become
don't you?
my go-to one. It has the film on it. It's protected, so you get a nice finish when you remove the film, because it's not been in your craft box and got scratched with anything. And that's become my go-to one. I must admit, I usually keep that in stock now to use with anything that I'm working with on acetate. And it is a decent weight as well. So again, when we pop that up there, you can just see now those flowers just take centre stage, and they are absolutely beautiful. A little bit lighter than I'd intended. You can see that difference again with the colour there. But that's one of the results of working in a conservatory.
Amazing. Let me take you through exactly what you're getting in here. Then lots of questions about the craft clear out. I'll come to those in just a second. In this particular collection, then you're going to get the delicate lilies, my absolute favourite, the lovely lilac. This one here is the radiant rose. They're a really nice big size, these. A fabulous fuchsia. You've also got the timeless carnation, and you will receive the fragrant sweet pea. I'm guessing there's nothing to stop you creating these from foam, flower forming foam, if you wanted to, Jan?
Absolutely. No, the dies would still work. They would still cut through your foam. And the beauty of doing it with the foam is you can fold it and cut several layers at once.
Yes, of course.
So yeah, you can build those flowers up, shape them with the heat if you want to, keep them flat.
Nice to have a larger statement flower that you can use for lots of different things. You know, they're going to work with paper, foam, vellum, all of those different things. Absolutely, they will. Kathy says, Joe, how many lucky dips can we buy without duplicate? So you must be talking about the Sarah's Craft Clear Out dump bins. So you can buy 20 of each of them. If you're buying 20, we'll give you an extra. So if you're buying 10, so there's essentially a $3, a $5, there's a $2, a $3 and a $5, pounds or dollars. If you buy 10 of one, we give you an extra one, so you receive 11. Buy 20 of one, we send you an extra 3, so you receive 23. So you can put up to 20 of each in your basket without any duplicates whatsoever. I hope that answers your question. Rosalind is trying to decide what to treat herself to for her birthday. Getting ready to head out for a hot stone massage.
Oh, very nice.
Very, very nice.
That sounds lovely.
It does, isn't it?
I could partake of that quite easily.
Absolutely. Sarah Brown says, hello everyone watching from Melbourne, Australia. I've just been watching the show, have it on in the background. Need to pop in to say hello. Hello, Sarah. It must be in the middle of the night there in Australia. Lots of love coming in for that last project from Robbie, Faye, Sarah, Lynn, Miriam. Miriam saying your blouse matches the carnations, which it does actually. And Natty, Debbie, Kathy all saying what a very, very pretty project. We're going to give you an opportunity to check out your baskets. Whilst you do that, let's share with you how you can watch and shop at the same time.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comfort of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablet or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are.
Absolutely, with you wherever you are. There's no escaping us. Absolutely love those. First time I've seen those. One of Ben and Craig running around the warehouse is really quite hilarious. They must have been such kids filming that, says Carol Ann. I can only imagine Carol Ann. Miriam, her dress sure does. Talking about Jan's dress. Is it a dress or a top you've got on,
It's
Jan?
a top again, yeah. I've usually got
Is
my
it a new
trousers
one?
on the bottom half.
Well, I should hope so. Goodness me, can't come into work in just your top and your knickers.
Oh, that would be nice. I must admit, it's very warm over here. I wouldn't inflict that on people. No, it is just a top half. And I have had it a little while. I think I've worn it before.
Have you? I haven't seen it. It's really lovely. Really, really lovely. Very busy out there at the moment across everything that you have seen. Let's move on though to these. Another best ever price for you. I love these. I think they're really, really cool. There's some really nice techniques that you can do with these. One of those dies that the more you sort of look at them, the more ways you'll see of using them. A lot of them have got sort of paper piecing being done with them, which is really lovely. Here's just a few of the different concepts as to how you might want to use them, and let me take you through the designs then that you are getting, because these are the designs and you can see how they work on your card. So this one here, that's your fancy filigree that you're looking at. We also then have the timeless florals. This one here is your dainty snowdrop, and you will also get the elegant flourish. 4 really cool flowers for you, or designs I should say. £22 or $27, that's over 30% off, which is excellent. As I said, best ever price, $17.60 or $21.60 as a platinum member, which is rather marvellous. Really nice these, Jan, lovely size die, and really great, I think, if you want to use them as a focal point for these sort of smaller card shapes that we seem to be seeing at the moment.
They are, honestly, and I sort of, again, this is not a product that I've worked with before, so when I got these I was sort of having a play with them. I cut them all out to see what they look like, but there's such a lot of potential for using them as is, or even snipping into them as well. If you wanted to make, like a faux embossing technique, you could actually snip into these and just cover a piece of card with one of the designs. I don't know why I didn't think of that as a demo. It's just come to me now, and literally create that faux embossing as if you've done some embossing through an embossing folder, but it's actually pieces of the design stuck together. So again, I've kept it fairly simple, and I've used this one as my inspiration here. I just loved how this was done. I've changed the colourway and I've extended the size of the card, but we've got that fancy filigree, and it is just over 5.5 inches tall. So again, like Joe said, a good size to be a focal point on your card. They would make gorgeous borders down. Imagine 2 of these top, to bottom down the edge of a scrapbook page, or across the bottom of a scrapbook page. And I love how this has been done. I've tried to recreate the fact that we've got different coloured cardstocks at either side of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the filigree part out of some beautiful, it's one of my favourite colour glitter cards, this champagne colour, this one. All right, so I'm going to pop that on here, and because we're cutting the glitter card, I'm going to pop the metal shim in place as well. It just gives me that extra bite when we're doing glitter cards. So I'm going to pop my clear plate with the metal shim and then cut against that shim so that we've got that lovely bite when we come to get the cut. So again, rest of the plate's in place, and then pop this through my Gemini. So I just need to pop that in from the front there, and then I'm going to recut part of the die because I want to do a little bit of paper piecing, as I say, like was on the packaging there. So again, we should have that lovely die cut piece there, and you can just see when you've got all that marking on the back there, even with the glitter card, you can see that that's cut through beautifully.
Cut through nice and cleanly, isn't it?
So again, just...
I think we always take this for granted though, don't we? Especially using Gemini dies and a Gemini machine, Jan. You know that not all dies and machines cut in this way.
They don't, no, and I've had some trouble in the past with several of the machines I've had prior to my Gemini, just needing that extra pressure or shimming up, or you'll get dead spots in it, whereas this, if I just pop I'm going to use my pokey tool just to break that seal between the glitter card and the die shape itself. And literally there's a lot of little curly pieces in, so take your time to make sure that it's actually broken away from the rest of the card, and then we can lift out that design nice and gently. And then the longest piece was down between those two lovely long swirls there, but again, it's all done. It's almost, I often describe it like when you've got a perforated piece of paper and you have to just break that seal between the two. But once you've done that, just look at the detail on that die and how well. I've got a little curly piece has decided to attach itself there. Come away. There we go. But just look, we've got some pieces to take out of the centre of there yet. But that's cut absolutely beautifully. And then all we need to do is pop those pieces out of the centre again. And we've got a beautiful die cut that you can then, as I say, use as a focal point. You can snip into it and actually use it as separate pieces. You could extend it by sort of die cutting it a second time and making it into a border on something that's longer. But again, when we get rid of all those pieces now out of there, just look at the detail on that. And I deliberately wanted to cut it out of the glitter card to just show you how well it behaves there. So really, really pretty. And then what I want to do, I've just got a thin strip. I've worked in the ivory and navy for this one.
Nice.
It does look a little bit dark on screen, but it is navy. And this is actually pearlescent cardstock from the card pack that came with the Bethlehem collection. So it's navy pearlescent, both sides on there. And I just happen to have that at the side of my desk. And I know that the navy and the gold is a really nice combination. But what I want to do now is I want to just cut this side of it so that the leaves that are on this side here, I'm going to get some blue to pop back in. So make sure I've got that the right way. And then I just want to pop this over those leaves that run 1, 2, 3, 4 down that side there. So I'm not worried that it doesn't cover over the whole thing. And we'll just pass that through the machine, and then I'm going to leave that in situ until I need to use it. Don't need the metal shim just to pop through the pearlescent card, it was just the glitter card there. And then what I've done is I've taken another piece of that blue cardstock and had a play around with the shape of the die. So I'm just going to leave that one in there for now until I come to use it. And my card base I've actually made a little bit longer. And I've cut the blue card here, started off with a straight edge on here, and then I've used my die to sort of, I wanted to follow
that's nice.
The edge of it here, like the one on the packaging. So all I've done is pop this in place, and with a pencil I drew through the gaps here in the die. And then I've just cut it. I had to do 2 or 3 attempts to get the right bit, but it actually lines up now with the edge of this. So we can actually pop, this is going to go on here, and then the die is going to go over the edge of here as if it's a border between the navy and the white card. Okay, now what I did at home in preparation for this is that I've actually done one of these and popped it through my sticky machine. Now if you don't have your sticky machine, you've got your dotty tape pen that would work beautifully on the back of here. Just be careful again that you go in the direction that like this piece for example, I would go this way, because if you bring it this way there's a chance you're going to you're going to damage
Right, I
the
see.
die cut, yeah? Alternatively, if you want to use your wet glue, little tiny dots of glue in the sort of larger areas, and then what I do is tap this off on a piece of scrap, almost as if you're trying to get rid of the glue, and then there is less of it to squeeze out when you bring it onto your project. But just for ease, while we were on air, I've literally ran it through my my sticky machine. The other option is to pop your double-sided sticky tape, double-sided adhesive behind it before you cut it, and then you would have the layer to just peel off the back. So again, this one's now got all its sticky behind it ready. So I'm just going to peel that off gently. Make sure we get all those little curly pieces off. Whoops, last one there. And then I can just pop this down nicely. In fact, we need to stick the blue down first, would help, Jan. So I'm just going to pop that one on with my double-sided tape pen there.
Gwenda says, I'm on my way to work. I'm stuck on the train for 15 minutes. So I've jumped on YouTube. I'm watching CCTV to stay calm and pass the time. There you go. Absolutely, you're in the right place there.
That's a good one, that, isn't it? Email us in and tell us the most interesting place you've watched
Yeah,
on
the
TV.
strangest place you've watched
Yeah.
Crafter's TV. We'd love to know. Deborah says the Grande Edge swirl die make beautiful cards, especially when paper pieced together. And Gwenda says, Margie says, I watch Crafter's TV every morning, getting ready for work here in Whittier, California. And Jan and Joe are my favourite duo.
Oh,
There
bless
are.
you.
Thank you for that.
Right, so what I want to do is just get this down so that it's trapping. And I just want to manoeuvre it into place there so that it's trapping that blue underneath. I can wiggle it around a little bit until I get it in the right place there. And trap the blue sort of underneath the die so that it looks as if one side of it is blue. There we go, that looks pretty good from there. And pop those two down. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it and really give it a good press from this side rather than trying to do that over all those little curly pieces. Wherever you've got your flat surface there on the back, that can give it a nice good press down. So we've got that one done there. And then the blue one here, again, I'm just going to keep it in place. And what I want to do is take, there's 4 elements in there that I want to, and I'm just going to use a little bit of glue in these leaves that have come round the right hand side there. So again, a little bit of the wet glue. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm just going to take out the corresponding pieces from here. So we've got one there. Oops. She said I had one. There it is. And this is where the tweezers come in handy because they are little tiny pieces, but it's amazing what a difference it makes when you put these back in. Now, if you've got the, now then, what's it called? Think, Jan. I'm not sure if it's not on the show. What's it called?
What is it? I don't know.
The
Jan.
adhesive that you can use in
the hold and
conjunction-
release sheets.
Is
Yes,
that what
the
it
hold and
is?
release sheets, the paper piecing ones.
Yes.
Yeah, they're in stock, available over on the website. You'll have to just search them on the home screen, on the homepage. They're actually on tomorrow's show,
Right,
so
yeah.
you can find them. Then there's a lot of chatter in the comments about tomorrow's launch, actually. So
Ooh.
you'll have to look forward. It's something to look forward to. And Keith will be here as well from Paper Dynamics. So lots and lots of cardstock coming tomorrow. Hurricane Keith will be in the building, so stay tuned for that.
So I just want those 4 pieces there just to fill in the gaps. And you've got that sort of opposites look there. So let's move those pieces out of the way now. I've finished with that one. And then all I've done, just to dress this up, is make a border to go at this side here. So we're going to pop that one on with the tape pen. And then I just wanted to keep it fairly simple, this one. I didn't want to go too much to town with it. So I'm going to bring this one in on the edge here. And then I've got a little tiny sentiment from my sash that says, let's celebrate. And I've just put that onto some foam tape there. And that's all I'm going to pop on here as I've just dressed it up with a couple of gems. So a couple of gold and a couple of the navy just to bring it together. But I just wanted to keep that fairly straightforward. As I say, taking the inspiration here, which I think has been done with black and gold or black and yellow, but I've just extended it. My card is actually 7.5 inches in length. And again, just something a bit different. I think they're really, really nice. And just add that, it's quite a luxurious touch, I think.
Yeah, it's quite, as Astrid says, it's that's awesome, super stylish. It is really stylish. Would make great invitations as well, especially a wedding invitation.
Yeah, party or wedding,
yeah,
or
would
even
be absolutely,
anything.
Would be lovely.
Fantastic.
Sue says, please wish everyone a happy Yorkshire Day. To all the Yorkshire folk watching who are still lucky enough to live there, also those who wish they still live there. Happy Yorkshire Day.
Oh,
you're in Yorkshire.
I'm in Yorkshire, last born and bred, yeah.
Yeah, it's happy Yorkshire Day.
Happy
Puddings all
Yorkshire
round,
Day.
Jan. Puddings all round today.
There we go.
Robbie says, wow, so classy. Journalism. I was at the garage earlier, had my aircon recharged, watching CCTV. I went to get my aircon recharged last week, Jan. Turns out I've got a great big leak in the system.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
No aircon for me. Found out on the hottest day, the 40-degree day we had. Of all the days to find out, that was the day, unfortunately.
Sounds about right.
Let me take you back through then the 4 designs that you're going to receive in here. So you've got the fancy filigree, which is this one here. You're also going to receive the timeless florals. You've then got the dainty snowdrops and also your elegant flourish in there as well. £22 or $27 is your price on those. I want to go back to and just remind you about that Monday mega deal. I know we're in a bit of a funny slot today. Obviously Monday Makers is usually the evening show here on Crafters TV. However, we've got Sarah's Craft Clear Out going on at the moment, so don't go anywhere. We had a 2-hour preview show earlier today, but we've got the full 3-hour extravaganza coming up at 6 p.m. in the UK, 1 o'clock East Coast, 10 a.m. over on the West Coast. All the deals are live actually over. Best way to see them is to hit the Shop the Day button. You'll see all the Monday Makers shows products, but also then the ones from the Craft Clear Out too. It's very, very busy over there at the moment. We're having sellouts over there, so if you definitely want to get your hands on something specific, I would urge you to shop sooner rather than later. Linda says, really nice card. Diane loved it, as did Anne-Marie. Miriam, Veronique. What a lovely name. Veronique. Yeah, where's that from, Veronique? I'd love to know. Mary Rhino says beautiful and elegant too. Let's take you though back to that Monday mega deal, because it is these are your tri-blend brush pens. It's your best ever price on a complete collection. Wowzers, trousers indeed. Saving you over £20 or $26. They are the 3 packs, but you're getting all of them essentially. So it's exactly the same as getting the larger box. Just the packaging is slightly different, but what you'll get is all of the lovely colours. And you can see here how they work. So within each pen, so this uses bright pink blend as an example, you get the darkest shade BP7, the mid shade BP4, and the lightest shade BP1. Allows you to get that seamless blend from one colour into another, which is amazing. So you've got that one there, and then you'll also get all of these colours here as well included. So make sure you snap those up. £59 or $93. That comes down to $47.20 or $74.40 as a platinum member, which is awesome. Right, let's go back to the 3D scene builders. We're going to have another look at these. You guys love these a little earlier in this show, and easy to see why. What a brilliant collection of sort of collections of embellishing stamps and dies, really, but they're put together in such a way that it makes it really easy for you to build up your own sort of scene with them. Let me take you through the 4 collections you're getting, or the 4 sets you're getting. That one, first one was Woodland Beauty. You've then got Simple Pleasures here. This one here is your butterfly borders, and you've also got Celebrate Your Day there as well. You will also get 16 sheets of the Nina cardstock included too. $85.99 or $104.95. You can get any 2 for £50 or $60, but far and away the best way of getting your hands on them is to get the whole collection. Caroline says, I can't get anything done without watching Crafters TV. There you go. Nanny to the girls says, Joe 2 weeks ago I watched Crafters TV at Western Michigan University cafeteria whilst hubby was giving a presentation. Hope you weren't in the presentation whilst he was giving it, watching Crafters TV. That might have got you in a bit of hot water, I'm thinking. No, I think if if you were waiting in the cafe, you'd be absolutely fine. You would. Right, back to Jan. We're going to go back to these scene builders, Jan.
We sure are, yes. So we did the one at the top of the show. If you've joined us sort of part way through, we actually did this one at the beginning of the show using the Simple Pleasures one. So this was the sort of concept behind the theory of this particular product. So we've got that lovely sort of double Z fold there with all the pieces attached to create that nice little scene. Now, as always, there's nearly always more than one way of doing things. So I thought what we'd do is we'd use the same project. So we're going to use the Celebrate Your Day from that same bundle, but we're going to use it in a different manner this time. So rather than recreating that Z-fold card, I'm going to show you a different way of using it. Now, again, at the top of the show, we looked at easel cards. We looked at just using the stamps and the dies just to create, you know, detail, embellishments, like Joe said, just for the front of a project. Or this particular set would be great for a scrapbook layout as well, if it was a party or a celebration of any kind. So again, in there, you know, just look, absolutely crammed full of metal there. So you get this gorgeous balloon arch, which is really, really pretty, and I've actually cut that ready out of some mirror card. I just thought the balloons needed a little bit of zhuzh. So we've got that in some turquoisey blue mirror card at the ready, and I've cut that one. Well, I've done a lot of this in preparation. But then there are oodles and oodles of other pieces in here. A lot of them correspond with the stamp set, and you can see there, if I bring some of these in now, you've got that beautiful pile of presents there, which again I've just stamped and cut out with the die. You've got the metal work in here that matches it to cut it out. I've also done the little cake. You can see there I've just gone with a multitude of colours for this to make it nice and bright. I've also done the two little balloons that are for colouring, but there's also the two solids here as well if you want, and again there's all the metal work here to cut those out. And I've added the presents in as well, just as extra detail for embellishment there. Okay, so that was from the stamp set. And then the die set, I've also used some of the stars. I've actually cut some of the stars out here. You can see we've got two sizes of the stars with the star die there. Yeah, and then
beautiful.
These, I love the little streamers. You can see, you know, the little party streamers that you get. You've even got here the two little sets to cut the streamers out as well. So we've sort of got a bit of a peach and teal theme going on here. And then also you've got, not so much in the stamp set, some of the dies just die cut, but you've got the means to cut out the little bunting banners as well there. So we've done a lot of the die cutting at the ready. I've also, I've misplaced one piece, which will show up in a minute, but we've got the little table as well that we're going to stand the cake on here. So let's just have a look what I've done with all my pieces. I reckon it's together somewhere, but I can recut that if need be. It's disappeared. So what we're going to do then is we're going to put all these together and we're going to create our design. Now again, you've got those same instructions in there to create the Z-fold design. So it talks you through the size of the card, where to score it, the additional piece for the front, where to score that, and then it is just simply adding the decoration. And this is pretty much what I followed in that first demonstration at the top of the show. So if you weren't watching then, you can always have a look at that one back later once we've finished live, and you can see how that goes together. But those are there for you just in case that's what you decide. So I've got some bits and pieces at the ready again, and what I've done is I've made myself, let me just move these to one side. This is actually 6.5 inches square. So I've cut it 6.5 inches and then I added a little piece on here. So I think it was about 1.25 inches on the top here, and the same on the back. And I've scored them and popped those pieces inside to create like a pop-out element here. So you can just see I've got that piece, and it's got some acetate on the middle here. So what happens is we're going to decorate the card this way, and then when you open it, it's got this pop-out element in the middle here that we're going to decorate. That's where we're going to put all the detail. Now my little table, oh it's not, it's there, look, it's having me on. This is my little table, and you can see there, this is what the cake's going to sit on.
Oh, cute.
Okay, so I've kept the front of the card fairly straightforward, and then most of the detail we're actually going to pop onto the acetate. So as it pops up, you've got that detail here. So a little bit of matting and layering just to get us started. And I've sort of pinched some of these from paper pads that I've got in my stash. So I've cut 2 of these to match, and we're going to pop those on the inside. And then I've already matted and layered with my coordinating paper the little pieces that form the pop-up there. So let's get those stuck down first, and then there's just really a case of going to town with all those pieces in order to decorate whatever style of card you're making. So this one's going to go with the full of the dots that way inside, and then I'm going to go the other way, and I've just started adding some of those little banners to the top of here that I'd die cut, and that's just cut out of some scraps of glitter card. So I've got a combination of mirror card and glitter card in this one. Still working my way through all the scraps. And then, as I say, we're going to work on here with this particular element and start building up with the presents and things. So what I want to do is pop a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to stick with the, in fact, I'm going to use my dots, I think, on the back of this one. So again, just to pop on the back. And what I've done is I've cut the arch twice. I cut it once in the mirror card, like you could see, and then I've just cut it again out of a scrap of the all-purpose card to strengthen it a little bit, because I actually want to put this on here as being part of that design. So I've cut my acetate just about the right height. I measured this so that I could see, and I've trapped the acetate between these 2 pieces that folded back in between. I've done this design before where we've actually used this as a gift card holder. Okay. And we just left the slot open so we can pop a gift card in here. So it's the same design. I've got a stray hair somewhere that keeps just attacking me. There we go. Oh dear. I don't know, I've got the fan on down here and it kept blowing in front of my eye, and I thought I was going mad then. But yeah, it's the same design as what I've used in the past. I've just stuck it together this time and trapped the acetate in between. And then we're going to pop the pile of presents on there as well. And then I thought we could actually have a little bit of detail at the bottom. Now I couldn't make my mind up whether to use, I was going to do the banners again. Couldn't make my mind up whether to put, they didn't, obviously if you put them at the bottom to echo this one, they're going to be upside down. So the question is do we have them sort of like this at the bottom to echo, or do we stick with them? I think they want to go at the top there, don't they, looking at them like that. I think they want to sort of be the same as that one rather than mirror it. So we've just got, and again, this is just done out of some scraps of coordinating glitter card. And again, whenever I'm cutting the glitter card, I usually pop that metal shim in just to give that extra sort of bite for the dies to cut against. So again, bit of glue in there. And we're going to pop these across the top there from corner to corner. And then I've got a slightly darker turquoise to go in the middle. So again, it's just using all those elements and showing you, you know, that you can create your patterns and designs in any shape or form. So we've got the balloons to play with, and we've got the presents. I think we'll have the 2 presents down here at the bottom. And again, I'm going to keep these flat so that it doesn't interfere with that pop-out element in the centre. And again, the balloons, I think we definitely need one of the balloons up here as if it's floating around. Yep.
Really, really lovely card, and something definitely a little bit out of the ordinary, which is definitely something you can do with these. Or, of course, you can just keep them quite, you know, quite traditional, quite simple concept. It's up to you. Diane says card of the show is going to be tough. It is going to be tough, and added pressure, Diane, because it's also card of the day as well. So there you go, no pressure. Lily says, I do like that paper that Jan is using. Did she happen to say where it came from?
It's from it's an 8x8 paper pad, and I think it's called Celebrations. Okay, if I remember rightly. There's a a patterned one, and there's a solids that goes with it. Have them all stacked on my shelf. I'm sure it's Celebrations, and this is one of them as well with the little confetti pieces on. So I've actually created this one ready to go on the front because I didn't want that to be too much, and we're going to pop the little table with the cake on the front there. I was just wondering, I don't think there's room on the front for the balloon, so we'll pop the balloon inside. I've popped one of them on the pop-up. I think we'll have the other one along here. So again, you know, it really is just a case of having a play with them. And if you're not sure on layouts, you know, if you're not sure how to do them, get all your pieces ready and just lay them out dry. You know, if you're not sure how you want to build it, just have a play with them. And that's the beauty of having bits coloured in ready or having things cut out ready, to just literally lay them onto your card and decide where you want them before you stick anything down. So I've got a couple of those stars just to match what we did on the front there. So again, I might pop the stars on this side. And I've got some of these on the front, so I just wanted to bring them on the inside so that we've got that corresponding piece. And then we've got all those lovely little streamers as well that we can add in. So I've just cut, and these are all, I've kept with those three main colours of the silver, the turquoise and the peach. And a lot of them, I just pulled the colours out of what was in the paper. So that's something else I get asked a lot, is how do you decide on the colour schemes? But sometimes it's the paper that gives that away. So again, I'm just going to pop, not stick all these down. I got a bit giddy cutting these out because I thought they were so cute. But again, just a couple of those on here. And then we'll add that cake on the front. So we're going to pop this piece on the front there. And again, it's all matted and layered. The plain cardstock and the pattern paper are from that matching set. I'm fairly certain it's called Celebrations or Everyday Celebrations, something like that.
I know you say you kept it simple on the outside, Jan. I think it still looks really, really cool.
Yeah, I didn't want to go too much on the outside because the surprise is inside, isn't it, with the pop-up? So I didn't go mad with it, but it's hard not to when you've got sets like this, Joe, because there's so many elements to play with that you just want to give them all a go. So again, we've got that lovely little table there. I'm just going to hold that down a second, and then I've got the cake, and these have all been coloured with those tri-blend markers again. So this one's going to sit on the table there. And I've just gone for a happy birthday from my stash there. There aren't any sentiments in these sets, but I know we've all got such a lot of sentiments in our stash. Now, I know some people don't like when they've done this on acetate, when you can see the reverse of it here. So my suggestion for that is to cut it. You can cut it again in the colour, but if you're using the colours, you need to remember to, in effect, cut it upside down. Okay, so if you want the colour to show on this side, it's actually going to be the reverse of the die because it's not symmetrical. So you need to cut it into the wrong side, right, so that when you stick it back down, you've got the colour showing. Alternatively, you can just use white pieces. So I've just stamped here onto some Nina cardstock. But can you see what I mean about the fact that the little string here is going the opposite way? So effectively it wants to be this way round. But if you want to just back it with those elements done in white, it takes away all the glue dots and everything that are on the back of it here. So it's a really easy way of actually disguising the fact that it's stuck to the acetate. So if we have a look at that one now, we've got all that lovely detail on the front there, just wishing happy birthday, which is nice enough in its own right. But then when we open it, you've got that lovely pop-out piece in the middle here with all the detail on there, just doing its bit in the middle. I mean, you could possibly even leave the back of it open here to tuck a gift card into that back section if you wished. But again, you know, just decorating it, using those papers, it's just a real sort of nice way of using, those cards and those pieces from the set there.
Absolutely beautiful, Jan. A really lovely sort of different take on how we can put them together. Gil, so Jan comes in for a day, crafts her heart out and makes it so difficult for us to choose which one will win. Thank you for that. We need to say happy birthday to Rosalind as well. All the birthdays. We are moving into birthday season though, aren't we? Don't you think? The end of summer, specifically September, there seems to be an awful lot of birthdays in September.
I wonder why.
Yes, I wonder why. Why is it, Jan? Why is that, Jan?
Why is that?
I don't
Producer
know.
Johnny's just given us an idea.
What's that?
He said September's month 9, isn't it?
Oh.
What happened 9 months before?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit too much celebrating, I don't know.
There's so many things I could say, all of which would get me in a lot of trouble, so we're just going to move on. Let me just recap. Woodland Beauty. That's the first one you're going to get in there. That's your first one. Then you'll also receive Simple Pleasures. Is this one here? You've got butterfly borders, and you'll get Celebrate Your Day. So you get all 4 of those in there, and you'll get 16 sheets of the cardstock as well. $85.99, $104.95. That gives you a platinum price of $68.79 or $83.96. I think we should take a quick break before Johnny gets all of us fired. So let's do that, and let's show you all the details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon. Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. So, join our family of craft experts with live tutorials and demonstrations every day. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products here on Crafters TV. Get creative and craft along with our amazing deals. Your next craft project is only a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week or watch on catch up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook or our YouTube channel. You can chat to us, craft along and meet new friends in our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
You're all our time with each other! You're not through to boot camp. Get off!
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. So, stop what you're doing and enjoy the fun here on Crafters TV.
We're always having all the fun, aren't we, here on Crafters TV? We didn't get the sack, miraculously. We are back. We're going to go back and have another look at these flowers, because they are really busy on these. It's the decoupage flowers. I mean, I guess there's nothing to stop you using multiple layers of these, is there, Jan? And really going to town on the layers, creating
Not at all.
really, really deep depth on your flower.
That's the whole idea of the decoupage element. We've given you that one piece for the stamp, but just by repeating it and literally quickly. Just have a play with them. Start with the 2 layers, see what it looks like, then add your 3rd layer. Just like you said, you can take it as far as you want, Joe, because it's a stamp. You can recreate that as many times. You can stamp and colour either with your tri-blends or with your watercolours, and if you're not a colourist, stamp onto your pattern papers and cut them out that way, and then it's already coloured.
You can see all the different ones there. So you've got the lily, the lilac, the rose. You've also got the fabulous fuchsia, as well as the timeless carnation. And of course, you've also got the fragrant sweet pea there as well. Lots of you in the comments are finally cottoned on, I think. Johnny Being Naughty never says Gilmore. Elaine says there is not much to do in the harvest season in northern Maine, hence why most of my siblings have full birthdays. There you are. Carol Ann says, my birthday's in September. I've just cottoned on to what you meant. Terry Tom says, January babies are due to spring fever. I've got 2 September babies and a January babies. Lots of laughing faces. Miri says, my parents were married Christmas Day. My older brother was born 9 months and 4 days later. There you are. Anyway, I think we should go back to these flowers, don't you, Jan?
Moving on, yes. So we're going to go with the lily, actually, Joe. I must have known. We've got the delicate lily there. So again, a really nice size. We're looking at just under 4 inches by 3.5 on the main sort of design here. But again, you've got that lovely statement piece. So again, you've got the petals, which we'd normally stamp twice for a standard lily. You've got the lily petal there. You've got the lovely piece for the middle, and then the little stamens as well. So again, lots of different ways, and all the metal work there to cut these out. And these work just the same. If you were watching when I made the carnation earlier, we said that the dies were made specifically slightly smaller than the petals so that it cuts away that really dark edge and it makes them so much easier to line up. So the first thing we're going to do, I've just popped some of our Nina cardstock in my stamping platform, and we're going to stamp that petal out there and get that coloured in with the alcohol markers. So again, just popping it down on there. We're going to pop, oops, there we go. And then again, I flick back to my alcohol-proof ink this time because we're going to colour in with one of our tri-blend markers. So again, just be mindful. It's always better to decide what you're going to colour with first before you start inking and stamping, because that needs to be sort of the corresponding part to your colouring medium. So again, pop that one down onto our smooth cardstock. I like to use the Nina when I'm using alcohol inks. It's a really nice smooth surface. You can use the all-purpose cardstock. It's a wee bit thicker, but it will still work there. But again, you've got that gorgeous design at the ready, which we'll now take off there. I'll sort that one out in a second. And then I'm just going to pop a piece underneath here while we do the colouring. And this one, I normally say to people, cut out first and then do your colouring. But with this one, it's a foolproof way. Because that die is slightly smaller, there's very little chance of you getting it in the wrong place. So I'm just going to do this really quickly because I've got one that's already put together for you. But again, you know, there's not really a lot of skill needed for doing something like this. I've chosen the lightest colour first. I've got my coral blends here, and I've gone with the lightest one first.
Does this, or do all of these still have that pretty soft edge on them, or is it just the carnation, Jan?
No, the dies are all done in the same manner that it takes away the sort of the outside line art of the stamp. And as I say, it's a really nice way of doing it because it brings that flower to life, I think. So again, I'm going to use those details on the stamps to add in my shading. So where those lines have been put on the line art for the stamp, you know, so if you're not sure about how to do your shading, all I'm doing really quickly is just going over those lines. And then I'm going to come back through to my mid-tone and nudge this together now. So I'm not going to bring it right over where I've just used the dark. And again, we've done so many shows with the colouring now. Sort of Colour Me Happy is our main show for colouring, where you can actually look at this in much more detail. So what I'm going to do is just bring this almost to the edge of the petal and then come back to that lightest shade just to take it up to the edge there. Now I've done this one in coral just so that you can see the detail a bit better. The one that I've already prepped was slightly lighter than this, and I used the fair skin tones, which, you know, doesn't have to be a skin tone, but I just wanted you to be able to see the definition. And then again, if you want this to be just a little bit more pronounced, I often go back in with my darkest colour where I just want that extra definition there. And like I've said many times, with the alcohol colouring, walk away and do something else, or start prepping your card, because it needs the alcohol to evaporate. Now I did this in coral just so that you could see a bit better, but when we've done this twice and layered them together, you can start and pop your flower together. So what I mean by these being slightly smaller is when we lay them on here, you can actually see from above here, and I'll get our judge to come and have a really good look in a second when I've just stuck it down. Okay, so if I hold that up there, you can just see around the outside there. I can still see that black line art here. So you're fairly certain that you've got it in the right place. There's no guessing, thank you George, whether they are in the right place for the point of view of cutting them. And then literally pop it onto your chosen platform. Now these will go through sort of the Gemini Junior, the Gemini Midi upwards. I think most of them are a bit larger than the mini plates there. So you would need sort of your A5 machine upwards to cut out these. But having said that, you know, if you don't have the die cutting machine, you can always snip round them with your scissors as well. They're not difficult shapes, but can you see? And I just take this off here. Just take that one out. We've got our die cut at the ready, but look how much of it is left. Can you see what I mean about the die is actually smaller? And I just
nice organic feel, doesn't it, to the
this
flower?
is a really, really good way. A lot of people struggle with lining up dies over colouring, and that's why I normally suggest die cutting first, because if you spent an age colouring in and doing all your shading and everything, and then you cut it out and you get it wonky, and you've chopped half of your die, it is frustrating, and I know that because I've done it myself, you know, and you think, oh, I've just spent all that time colouring in, I've got to start again. But this way, it is almost a foolproof way of getting it in the right place, and it takes away that dark line art from around the edge of the flower petals, which if you think about flowers in nature, they don't have dark lines around the outside of them. They are the colour of the petals. So I've done that twice, and then I also cut the little piece here for the centre. Now I chose not to stamp this one. You've got the stamp and the die here for the stamens, but what I did was use a bit of that gold glitter card that I had left, and again just layered it all up, use my distress tool on the back of it again, and this is what you can end up with from a piece of flat card to this. And as I say, I used the fair skin tones on this one. I wanted it a wee bit lighter. I've got that little 3-part of the stamen in the bottom here. I've got the little gold elements, and then I've just used, I don't know if you can just pick that up on there, just some little dots of our glossy highlights on here to make it look like the flowers sort of got the dewdrops on it. You can just see here, look. So I've just got a couple on each petal, and it just looks as if it's got the morning dew on the top of there. And this time all I'm going to do is use this to decorate the top of a gift box. So again, I've gone with the craft card. It just lent itself for this particular design. I've stayed with that glitter card that we had out earlier just because I'd got that on my desk, and it is one of my favourite colours in the glitter card. And then I've chosen sort of a pinky peach tone, just plain cardstock, and run it through an old embossing folder that's just like a lattice work on it. And then it looked a little bit dull, so I've run a bit of ink over it. I still wasn't happy with it, so then I got out my pearl diamond spray, and you can just see that shimmer on it now, and did all sorts to it. You know, I probably would have been better off just using Centura Pearl in the first place, but we're still on the old scrap stash trying to use up the scraps, so it was just making it look like I wanted it to look. So I've got the sides of the box there. I've done the same for the front, just popped a bit of ribbon across here, and just kept it nice and
Craft
simple.
and pink together is a nice colour combo, not one we really see all that much, Jan.
The what, sorry?
Craft and pink together.
Yeah, yeah. So again, just pop that one on the top there. And then I've just got my tape at the ready, so whether you're using your red line tape or whether you're going to continue using your double-sided tape runner. Both of those will work. If you like the wet glue, you can pop the wet glue in and then just pop your clips on to hold it in place until it's dried. But I've just gone through with the red liner tape there for demoing purposes. It works a treat. I've got that instant stick. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have our flower on the bottom here. And then I've done a couple of the leaves, and again I've distressed these with the tool. And then I've just heat embossed to keep that theme with the gold running. Just a little sentiment that says just for you. So we're going to pop those on with a little bit of wet glue, I think, just to get those to give a nice stick over the different mediums. That tacky glue will work with the ribbon and the cardstock that's been sprayed as well. So I'm going to pop this one up in the corner here, and I probably would have been better off doing this while it was flat, but we'll get the idea.
Really, really cute. Actually, I guess you could use the leaves or the foliage there for lots of other bits too. You don't need to necessarily use them with these flower dyes, Shan.
No, again, if you're buying the bundle, you know, you've got a lot of facilities there to create, you know, sort of foliage for home decor and things like that. And I keep mentioning that because it is such a big thing at the minute, the home decor projects. You know, people using the shadow boxes and things like that. It really is quite a big thing in the crafting industry at the minute. So again, I'm just going to pop that one and hold that for a second with that tacky glue.
Absolutely glorious.
And then just took, I'm hoping that's going to stick down, yeah. Just took these leaves under the edge there. So a little bit of glue on the bottom and took these in.
Journaling saying, love the glittering on the matte layers. You can actually, we've got some great glitter card stock deals over in the Sarah's Craft clear out. So make sure if you're after some glitter card, you head over there and check those deals out. It's very, very busy on those clear out products.
So again, if I clear all that away from the front there, this just needs a second for that tacky to stick there. But you can just see, you know, popping those on. And I thought, when I was making this in the box, with the size of the box and everything, I thought, I know we've actually passed most of the prom season now, but how nice would that be made into a little wrist corsage and then popped inside the box as a gift for someone? Really, really nice. Or if you'd had a fresh flower for a prom gift, you could recreate it to keep with the paper flowers like that. Or like I said, they will work with your foam as well if you like to make your foam flowers. So yeah, just another way of using them on that gift box packaging there.
Yeah, really, really stunning they are. £58 or $66 gets you all of them. Let me take you back through then exactly what you are getting. So you've got the Delicate Lily is the first one. Lots of these can be done in multiple colours as well. I mean, Lily's coming all sorts of different colours. This one here is the lovely lilac that you've got there. That could definitely be hops, I think, as well, if you wanted it to be.
It could actually.
That's what it reminds me of. This one here, that is your Radiant Rose that you can see, absolutely gorgeous. We then have the Fabulous Fuchsia. You've got the Timeless Carnation, and you'll always also get the Fragrant Sweet Pea in there too, £58 or $66 if you want to get your hands on those. You save $31.94 or $35.70. Don't forget as well, you can go back and watch the full launch day on those. They launch on the 26th of May if you want to make a note of that and head back and watch the launch day on those. Talking of launch days, we've got a brilliant launch day tomorrow here on Crafters TV. And it is, of course, the new 'Tis the Season. 'Tis the Season. I don't think I've seen it. Lots of you at home have seen it though, because lots of you are chatting about it in the comments and how excited you are.
I've not seen the whole thing, but I know the design team
give us a taste, give us a flavour, Jan.
I've not seen enough of it, I don't think. As I say, I've only seen the design team cards. They've been posting today with some of their cards on I'm a Crafter's Companion, and that's possibly where the customers have seen it.
I believe so.
Some beautiful designs again, but yeah, very much sort of in keeping with that Christmas theme again. So yes, looking forward to it.
Really, really cool. Make sure you go and come back and check that out with myself and Corinne tomorrow, and Keith will be here as well. Lots of love still coming in for that box. Journaling loves it. it. Miriam, Linda, Lynn, all saying how awesome that box was. We better do card of the show, and therefore card of the day, Jan.
Right, so top of the show then, we started with those scene builders, and we made that design as the concept was sort of produced with that Z fold card, and added all the detail, all those little stamped elements, die cut elements, just to make our design there for the scene builder. So that's number one. Number two, we used the carnations from those beautiful decoupage flowers and layered them up, distressed them a little bit, and used them on a card blank there. So that's number two. Number three were those beautiful swirl dies, and again keeping it quite simple, that one, but very classy in that navy and gold there. So number three. Number four, we went back to the scene builders, and I showed you a different way to use them. So again, just decorating your cards with all those embellishments, but inside we've got that lovely pop-up element with all the details in there. So that was number four, and number five was back to those decoupage flowers, and we've just made the gift box there using that gorgeous lily from that range. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 today.
Brilliant. Get your votes in. It's going to be a super quick vote. You've got literally a few seconds to get your vote cast, and then we will we'll pick a winner as well. I want to talk to you about the daily deal. It is this. So as part of the Sarah's Craft Clear Out, which is running all week, every single day, we're going to have a daily deal launching at midday UK time. So that is 7 a.m. East Coast, 4 a.m. West Coast. And today's is this, the guillotine. Now this guillotine is absolutely awesome. It's got that self-sharpening blade in there. It took Leanne and the team a really long time to develop this. Really precise as well, which is excellent. The other great thing with it too is that you've got a scoreboard within here as well. So all these lines that you can see there, they are your scoring marks, and you've got the scoring tool in there too, which is excellent. Really cool. Super handy. So we do have a larger one, a lot of you love, but a lot of you loving this one. It's portable. It'll go into something like your lowest craft toe. It's great for just having it around, and it's going to do a lot of the jobs that you're going to want it to. $24.99, $34.95 gets you that, and then, but part of this deal, you're also going to get 2 6x6 paper pads included. So you've got the Enchanted Dreams pad, firstly, which is this one just here, really gorgeous one. That you're going to get 32 sheets in there, and then you're also going to get the dancing dragonflies as well. This is stunning. I absolutely love this. The dancing dragonflies would work well with other collections as well. Things like the chinoiserie would look really cool with the dancing dragonfly. So good one. It's a good all-rounder, as well as it being really cool to use with the actual collection itself. To $19.99 or $27.96 if you want to get your hands on that. A really great deal for you. I want to just quickly remind you as well of the Grande Edge Swirls, which are these. I'll show you some of the cards that have been done using these. They're absolutely stunning. You've got these ones here. Lots of really nice sort of paper piecing ideas that you can use these for. Use them as embellishments on larger cards as well. Of course, they cut out, so that's the great thing about them. You've got that removable element. They're actually a topper, or you can build them into a card concept. So this one here is your fancy filigree. You have also got the timeless florals. This here is your dainty snowdrops, and you've got the elegant flourish as well. £22 or $27 there, saving you over 30%, $17.60 or $21.60 if you are a platinum member. Very, very busy show. We're going to have an extremely busy show later on. Remember, the reason why we have Monday Makers in this earlier time slot today is because there is the Sarah's Craft Clear Out 3-hour special happening tonight, 6 p.m. here in the UK, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 a.m. on the West Coast. If you go to the front page of the website, you'll see the big banner there. Click on that, it'll take you all the way through. We have had some sellouts. Boo. We may be having some additions though. We just didn't think we'd be having sellouts this early in the event. It shouldn't be happening this far. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of orders were placed in the earlier preview show. So the front page of the website is where you need to go. The festive box has gone, I think, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we might be bringing you something else to replace it with. You will have to join us in 2 hours time. The shadow numbers have also gone apparently too. Jan, when are you back with us? Oh, by the way, card of the show and the day is number 4.
1, 2, 3. That was the pop-up one, wasn't it?
There you are.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys. I've got a bit of a break now, so I won't be back with you guys until the end of the month because I'm down at the TV studios on Saturday, but then I've got a fortnight's annual leave for our summer break. So yeah, it's going to be nearer the end of the month before I see you here at CTV again.
Brilliant. Well, we look forward to seeing you, Jan, as soon as possible. And look forward to seeing you lot back here in 2 hours' time. Make sure you come and join myself, Sarah, and Sarah, 6 p.m. in the UK, 1 o'clock East Coast, 10 a.m. West Coast. We'll see you there. Take care.